Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Ladies, understand something. The top end of a woman's weight is 145 pounds. Okay. My mother's 5'9", and she was 145 pounds until she was 50. That's the top end of your weight, because there should be about a 40-pound difference between you and men.
Basically, if the guy is rich, what ends up happening is the lawyer contacts the person and be like, hey, you know, your name gonna be all in the paper, so you might as well just settle out of court.
I can recognize talent. Even if I don't agree with the politics, a lot of the politics that was underlying in the show and some of the sentiments he was trying to share, I recognize artistry when an artist is present.
Yes, this is the definition of absolutely cooked. We'll never go back and take a look at her bad decision and take accountability for any of that.
Because there is powerful people in the industry, somehow there is a different law that applies to them. And I agree with that assessment.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I, my ancestors speak, they tell me they're tired of them praying on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their palms would bleed, begging that generations remember our story.
What's up, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Rumble, IG, Kick, wherever you watching from? Salutes. They said I couldn't do it, and I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway. Peace, praise, glory, and honor to the Most High. You see the title. It's Monday. Some of y'all at work. Some of y'all had the day off. Some of you are probably retired. I don't know. Wherever you are, I appreciate you. Maybe you're scrolling the shorts, the reels. Wherever you are right now, I appreciate you for locking in with me today. We got a lot to go over. And it's about to be a very, very interesting week, a very intense week. It's going to be filled with a lot of diverse conversations from different people. Trust me, if this right here isn't any indication, then tap in later. Shout outs to Sydney, Rob. Shout outs to everybody, man, that's been locked in with me for the last couple of months, last couple of years, even, for real. You see the title, Candace Owens, Princella the Queen Maker. We got to talk. Do me a solid, repost, share, let the people know that we are live. There's just some things that don't get discussed by the general population that I want to address and cover for both parties. Because I know a lot of y'all are on the fence about both. Maybe you lean more towards Candace. Maybe you lean more towards Princella. That's fine. Everybody is privy to their own preferences. Matter of fact, while I'm at it, let me bring this up on the screen. For future reference, if you have any topics, anything that you would like covered up here, drop it down below. Email me, follow me on all these different little platforms to support, to get the algorithm juices flowing. I need them to see what is happening on this side of the internet. Stop playing with me. All right. So this is what I'm going to do for y'all. Let me give you like my recap, right? Candace Owens did a interview with Miss Princella, and a lot of people look at that one-on-one as a day of atonement, a day of reckoning. Some people are saying Candace Owens met her match, that she's a pick-me. She's married to a white woman. She's a panderer. She's self-righteous. She's full of shit. She's not the woman that I think she is. Matter of fact, put it this way. Princella the Queen Maker in this interview was the representation of every single woman or man who looks at Candace Owens and thinks that Candace Owens is full of shit, pretty much. Princella the Queen Maker went to her. They had to sit down and they covered a number of different subjects that were important, but in my honest opinion, the discussions that they were having, it didn't really have anything to do with us. Didn't really have anything to do with the patriarchy. It didn't really have anything to do with the nuclear household. The typical things that we argue about on a regular basis here on the internet or amongst our peers at work. It didn't really have nothing to do with that. And what I mean is that the infrastructure that they utilized to house this conversation, it had the typical talking points. It had all the elements that were necessary to be addressed, your concerns. But was it really about that? I don't believe it was. I don't believe anything that they were speaking on at that particular moment was from a sincere place. And this is why I say it, because I have mixed feelings about it. And I got to be neutral because I've covered Candace Owens on a number of occasions. I've spoken highly of her. I've questioned some things. I've even questioned Princella. I've had my opinions on her as well, a number of them. Because one of my biggest pet peeves about social media and the internet in general is usually the fact that the platform is orbited by trolls. It is controlled by censorship demons. It is controlled by lustful, gluttonous, greedy men and women and manipulative men and women who only use these platforms to control narratives, to spin them, to make you feel as if they have chosen the side of justice and righteousness and they're all for you and they're all for me. And in all reality, none of the shit that they really be talking about has a ultimate purpose to it, because it just sounds good. It sounds good to the typical listener who wants to hear that they're validated. You just want to feel that you're right about something. So if you got other people who agree with you and it actually supports your disillusions, then you have somebody that you can get behind, that you can cheer on, you can prop up. Candace Owens and many others such as Princella for for years have built their careers notably, questionably, utilizing certain measures that appease the general public. There's a video that I would like to play. Just bear with me. Hold on. Wrong time.
Shut up.
I know. I know. Hold on a second. We're going to get there. I want to bring this up on the screen. I'm gonna let it run. Let's see if I can find it. That's me. It's not on this one. It might be on my IG. Hold up. She had some remarks for her debate with Candace. I just want to highlight them. Hold on. Okay. Let's see. This one. This one. This one. I might have removed it. Did I remove it? Yeah. I think I removed it. I might have to go back and grab it real quick. Hold on. Let me go find it. She made some comments. It was her way of trying to break down what Candace Owens was doing in her eyes, which could have been the case. But all right, here it is. Here it is, right here. Let me pause it. I'm gonna bring it up real quick on the screen. It's like a minute plus. I want to address it. I want to address both of them for the interview, for comments here, and how I feel about them both in general. I see some people in the comments. Let me go check. If these are robot posts, I'm most likely not going to read those. Got that here. All right. Cool. I'm going to run this, and then I'm going to come back to where I was going with this.
You want to know the reason why Candace disagreed with facts? Understand that denotation, a denotative definition of a word, is the actual factual meaning of the word. Connotation is based on the feelings that the word invokes. So when you define a word based on denotation, you're standing on facts. To then include statistics and data along with the denotation definition of a word, we talk about double, triple facts. So why did Candace Owens disagree with facts? It's real simple. Candace was unprepared to have a discussion that took her in a completely different territory that was unfamiliar to her. She had never debated anybody based on facts. Candace believes that feminists are emotional and illogical. So she underestimated me and put me in the category of the typical feminist. So she disagreed with me so that she could create an opportunity to drag the conversation into a territory that she was familiar with, which is the reason why when she disagreed, she started bringing up irrelevant things like the fashion industry and all that stuff she was saying that was totally irrelevant to the conversation. And I dragged it right on back to the facts, the government, the seats, the statistics, the data, the denotative definition. That stunned her. On the next video, I will detail the 4 trick bags that she attempted to put me in. This.
Yo. So let me go ahead and address what she just said here. See, what you don't understand is both of them use talking points and they both use arguments that we are concerned with. Absolutely, 1000%. Nobody is going to deny that we've had racism, we've had bigotry, we've had this war between men and women, we've had this weird control power dynamic going on. Nobody's denying any of that. Here's the problem. Either one of you or both of you are completely confused and you've missed the mark completely. This is why I say it. What was the goal? What's the ultimate goal between you and her sitting down? People wanted to see y'all have this conversation because they wanted to find out who could get embarrassed verbally, whose knowledge and wisdom was going to show up for them, who was going to be able to prove that the other person was less knowledgeable of the things that they speak on. You both came to this wanting to address specific topics based on your strengths, on things that you're openly familiar with. Everybody's not going to know everything. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Malcolm X. I don't care if you're anybody of significant value in the eyes of the United States of America. You don't know everything. And you go into a conversation with someone who knows something that you don't know, obviously you're going to try and get them off of their projected target. The things that they're trying to acknowledge and dissect, you're not going to be able to really get into it as much as you would like because you don't have the type of information to go back and forth with them for, which is fine. So you're trying to attack something from one angle, she's trying to attack something from another angle. But who's really here to bring any type of resolution whatsoever? You got two women arguing. It's almost as if y'all turned it into a pay-per-view. The public in general, y'all wanted to see two women that have millions of subscribers and followers who hang on to their every beck and word. Y'all just wanted to see them clash like it was a boxing match, like it was Layla Ali getting ready to fight Clarissa Shields. All you cared about, for the most part, all y'all really wanted to see was who could shame or outclass the other person. If the goal and the objective is to bring healing to the Black culture, bring healing to a spiritually sick world, if the objective is to actually deal with corruption, to deal with decadence, to deal with folks that are moving wickedly out here in the world, destroying our infrastructures, destroying our communities, if it's to address feminism, if it's to address toxic masculinity and all of these things that we seem to frequently discuss on a regular basis, then how come it always ends up turning into you trying to prove something to somebody? You're wrong because I said this, and because this means this and that means that. Oh no, you're wrong because in 1866 such you got a woman who likes women. Your spirit, first of all, you're spiritually out of whack. You're not even in order. You're not in line with your own self. You got a spirit of error. You got a Jezebel spirit on you, ma'am. Lesbianism is not a spirit of holiness. Lesbianism, being gay, being confused about your sexuality, is not a spirit of some divine cleanliness that is sent to be a beacon of hope and light to the world. You do know that, right? I have a huge problem with taking information from someone who is confused about their own sexuality and their own spirituality, using these talking points, assessing the environment, and then adapting to the environment according to the pins, the cliff notes, the augmentations that are fragmented and etched into every single human being who has ever experienced something divine and uniquely connected to what you and her are talking about. I have a huge issue with that. I find it hypocritical, and I find it hilarious that no one really notices that. You don't really pay attention to it. I want you to really try to grasp what I'm talking about. You got two superpowers, Black women, by the way, on different sides of the fence. Candace Owens, a Black woman who's married to a white woman, and most Black people hate the fact that she's married to a white man. And then you got Princella, a lesbian who used to deal with dudes, jumps from having issues with dudes to trying to defend them, to trying to be this life dating coach slash philanthropist slash this slash that. Y'all from different worlds, but you address significantly important things in the community that should make us wake up and say we need to have more discussions about this. And I don't mind having conversations where I'm trying to figure out how we get these fucking addicts to be free and clean. I don't have a problem with having conversations about getting these corrupt ass politicians out of office. I don't have a problem with getting the school systems in order. I don't have a problem with getting families back together and things of that nature. I have a problem when you're using your fame and your brand to manipulate the culture as a whole, masking it behind this I'm here with my cape on, my lesbian I don't know what the fuck you want to call it. The shit I never really bought into the propaganda. So the entire back and forth between these two is basically prove me right, prove me wrong. How is this right? How is this wrong? Where's the solutions? Where's the example? You know your audience. You know exactly what they're looking for. Princella's audience is mostly women. And I'm pretty certain the majority of them women are lesbians. The problem with the world and with humans in general, you're not objective enough. Once you've decided to pick a side without the facts, like you don't even know 1000% if either or is moving in the way correctly that they should be, you just go ahead and automatically decide that this person is the one for us. This is the people's champion. Now, I give both of them credit for certain things that they have said out of their mouth. I don't worship or idolize human beings. I can respect you enough to take certain points that you use and apply it where it's relevant. But if I hear something that does not coincide with the word for one, and I hear something that does not align with your lifestyle, I absolutely will challenge it. And I do have a problem with it. They've been in the circles of people like Andrew Tate. They've been on Fresh and Fit. They've had interviews where it's 20 women versus Candace Owens. That shit hit like 5 or 6 million views. 6 million men and women tuned in to observe if Candace Owens could intellectually ward off 20 angry, conflicted, confused individuals by herself. Why did you want to see that? Why did you want to see her go up against 20 people? Why did you want to see Princella go up against all of these different hierarchies? Why did you want to see her on all these platforms? Why did you want to see her go against Candace Owens? There should be one goal. All I care about is the truth. I just want to know who's telling me the truth. All I want to know is who is guiding these young minds in the right direction. Don't care about your sexual preference. I don't care about who you marry or who you date or who you have kids with. But it does significantly affect my opinion and my view of you. And honestly, it comes down to pandering and grifting. I really believe to a certain extent that they're both panderers and grifters. Now, I would need significant evidence to say that neither one is. But I believe both are to a certain extent. How can I prove that? This is how you know when you have panderers and grifters. This is how you know if Candace, Owens, and Princella are grifters. People who do either or, they go out of their way to tell you whatever it is that you want to hear, even if it is a fucking lie. You're about to walk into a furnace or a trap, something that's going to harm you. And they'll tell you there's no danger. Ain't nothing to worry about. You're overthinking it. Keep doing this and you'll be fine. It's okay to be a liar. It's okay to be a cheater. No, women aren't supposed to be feminine and soft and friendly. Yeah, you're supposed to do this. They cater to an audience whose lifestyle is set up for them to live how the fuck they want to live. So if you want to be a problematic soul out here, disrupting people's life, stealing, cheating, causing anarchy, separation, being a horrible ass, manipulative ass woman, or a lazy, lackadaisical man, or weak man. If you want to be depressed and lonely and bitter and suicidal, and you want to keep recklessly involving people in relationships that they don't want to be in, or you want to keep sleeping around with 80, 40, 50 people while also expecting someone to fund your whole life, then the media will use women like Princella to talk to you like, in this establishment, you must utilize the vocalization of your provocation. If you do this, then you will by far exceed all expectations of all of the others who are alienated because they are operating from a low vibrational standpoint. Their state is weakened minded, and they therefore cannot ever comprehend the position that you are in as a superior being. She'll use big ass words to sound professional as fuck, gas you up, don't tell you, oh, well, there's consequences to following another human being and idolizing and worshiping people. There's consequences for being gluttonous and being greedy. There's consequences to listening to certain type of content that only tells you how to live one way but not the other. There's consequences to being a lesbian, to being gay. You should have a relationship with God, but I'm not going to tell you that. You should repent, but I'm not going to tell you that. Right. Panderers and grifters, you should check out the show we did on that one a while ago. Grifters. Pretty good one. Pretty good segment. Their only mission, their only goal is to make you turn against your brother, make you hate women, make you hate men, keep you in a destitute mental mindset, make you focus on the struggle and not the blessings that you have. You get up here every day, do these live streams, and talk about what's going on in other countries. And you talk about what's going on in Ukraine, and you talk about the dynamics between men and women, and you talk about this and that and the third, but you don't offer no real solutions that are honest. Your solutions are based on the immediate needs of people who are used to doing things the way that they want to do it. So if you want to live in sin, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cater to you. I'm going to talk to you just like a sinner who wants to feel validated for living the way that they want to live. And I'm going to dress it up nice and pretty so that you don't feel offended. I want you to feel like it's okay for you to live the way you want to live. And in return, by me lying to you and telling you it's okay to be the way you are and that you don't need to improve, you will adore me. You will thank me. You will honor me. You're going to want me to speak to more people. You're going to want me to, the way that I'm lying to you, you're going to want me to lie to everybody else. Why? Because you allow me to feel good about being in my own mess, my own iniquities. You allow me to be a piece of shit. You allow me to be a cheater. You allow me to feel good about coveting other people's stuff. You allow me to settle for being inadequate. You allow me to be a liar. You allow me to be a woman who sets people up for failure, gets them arrested, put them behind bars, get them killed. You allow me to be a manipulator. You allow me to be an OnlyFans model. You allow me to be politically correct. You allow me to get up here on the internet and say every single thing that I can say that's offensive to a different culture and have no pushback. And because you allow me to be the way that I am, in return, oh shit, man, they cooking, they saying some real shit. Okay, Candace Owens is for the black people. Candace Owens is saying y'all disgust me, man. Y'all out here killing your own kind, and you're doing, oh shit. Candace Owens is really for the black people. She is really for community. She is really for family. She is, oh shit, she's really, oh, guess what? Y'all feel good. It feels good to know that somebody is relating to you based on the things that you suffer in or you are trying to get away from, depending on who the person is. So because someone like Princella can smooth talk her way into your household, you create access for her message to be spread further out. Why? Y'all ready for it? Y'all ready to hear this? Hold on. You allow women like her more access to other people because your circle is full of sinners. I said it. Your circle is full of spiritually sick people. Your circle is full of swingers. Your circle is full of hypocrites. Your circle is full of people who promote pornography. Your circle is full of people who abandon their loved ones. Your circle is full of people who are greedy, who are backstabbers, who betray you, who never support you, who don't know how to reflect love, who don't know how to show up when you need them the most. Your circle is full of people who are just like you. That's why a message from someone like her resonates with you so much. And you want other people that live like you to hear her message so that it actually supports and substantiates your behavior without any cause to it. But let somebody be real blunt. Let somebody completely just rip the band-aid off and say, I'm just like her, you, Hogan. I've sinned. I've done some of the same or committed some of the same type of sinful things that most of you have done, and I had to suffer for it because I realized like what I did deserved the punishments that I got from it because it was wrong, and I got to take the L for it. You don't want those type of conversations. You don't. You want to be able to keep living the way you are, and then you get frustrated when there's no change. See, I listened, I watched them go back and forth, and I could only picture in my head the comment section, how they were grasping at their chips, their favorite soda, their coffee. They had their blunt, their cigarette, that Newport 100, and they're just glued to the screen with anticipation as these two juggernauts go back and forth, one trying to appease one side, the other trying to appease the other side. It's cute. That one of the issues that I have and that I had with this back and forth exchange is that no matter what happens, they never accurately address a topic at a time. They can these women, and most, you never address one thing at a time. You skip through it, it never gets resolved, and you move on to something else before we even got a conclusion to the original question, the original concern, or thinking piece. So you get an hour, 2 hours of Candace, Princella going back and forth, picking at the bones, mixing the food up, and the meal is completely wrong. There's nothing to eat here. Everything on that plate is fucked up. Why? Y'all sticking y'all fingers in it. All you did was stick your fingers in the plate, and you ruined the meal. Imagine Sunday dinner. Grandma done made you this amazing ass meal. You go to fix your plate. It got dressing, it got coleslaw, it got mac and cheese, they got ribs, they got greens, you got turkey, you got ham, you got sweet potatoes, you got the whole layout. You fix your plate exactly the way you want it. Go to your table. You sit down. You say your grace. And then as soon as you get ready to dig into your plate, you remember the scene from Scary Movie when my man with the the, the fucked up hand, you remember him? And he stuck his fingers and shit in the fucking mashed potatoes, and he was fucking the with the turkey and shit. Imagine you got your plate laid out and then somebody just stick their finger all in your food. It's a wrap. You done. Your appetite gone. It ain't there. Ain't nothing there for you. So my point is, I don't think Candace Owens is a evil person. Let me just be clear about that. I don't even think Princella is an evil person. But there's no fucking way in the world I'm listening to no Princella the Queen Maker. I'm sorry.
To protect the sheep, you got to catch the wolf. And it takes a wolf to catch a wolf. You understand?
Sorry. You can sit up here and talk about patriarchy this and patriarchy that and this, that. And I don't want to hear that shit. All right. Well, since you got all this smoke for that, go ahead and address lesbianism and that wicked spirit that you house in your own vessel. Let's talk about that demon you walk around with every day. You sitting up here eating pussy, licking box, sucking on toes and titties, while dressing like a whole dude, and you know damn well you were born a woman. You are not a guy. But you wearing your hat backwards and you doing all this and all that. Let's talk about that spirit that's on you, that is on the rest of the women that are like you. Since you want to address being suppressed or oppressed by men, and you want to call Candace Owens out for evading certain things that you were trying to address, let's go ahead and address lesbianism. Let's address gay people. Let's address the LGBTQ community. You want to be honest, y'all want to be raw, y'all want to be real, y'all want to really have the attention of the people. Go ahead and talk about all that shit. Talk about how it's wrong in the eyes of the Lord. Talk about how He's the only one that can judge us for the way that we choose to live, whether or not we're spiteful towards people or not. He's the only one who can dictate if our hearts are either for Him or not for Him. Talk about that. Talk about forgiveness. Talk about freedom of speech, real freedom of speech. Real freedom of speech means that you can say shit that's going to offend people, but you know that you're saying out of love anyway, and you still say, even if it means that people are not going to support you anymore. We'll talk about that. Right. You're not going to do that. You're not going to talk about none of that shit. But I say it and I say again, y'all be propping these folks up, making them more than what they really are. So it's all right when you can address how you are at one moment you hate men, you got an issue with how men do women, and women are superior to men, and men should be licking y'all boots and this, that, dirt. Then you switch it up. And then you have like this reality check because you're dating yourself, which is fucking crazy to me. As a woman, you don't know who you are. You don't know how you are as a woman already. You got to switch teams, deal with a woman to find out how women are. Then you switch your position from bashing men to defending men to calling out women for the things that they don't hold themselves accountable for. Like, all it's too much. It's too much. The pandering is real. Grifting is real. And you and her, I don't know. Put it this way. I don't know to what extent and what level. Like, if I had to rate it from like a 1 to 10, 1 is like, I don't see neither one of them pandering or grifting at all. I just don't see it. To 10 being, yeah, these are the poster childs for it. If I had to rate both of them, I would say Candace Owens is probably around a solid 4, a solid 5. Princella is a solid 8, solid 9. Just off of initial estimation. I could be wrong with my numbers with Candace, though. It could be a little higher than that. But you're 1000% both pandering and grifting. But see, what do I know? I give Candace Owens a little more credit because she does address certain things that will get you canceled on social media. I have more respect for people who are willing to risk their channels. Like, if you're willing to say fuck politics and all that to tell the truth. But if you trying everything in your power to protect your brand by lying to people, so you just saying whatever the fuck think is going to be acceptable, nah. I'm tempted to play the video one more time. Matter of fact, I am going to play it one more time because I want to make sure that I address something. Because this applies to her and you. Hold on, let me bring this back up. Start this back over.
You want to know the reason why Candace disagreed with facts? Understand that denotation, a denotative definition of a word, is the actual factual meaning of the word. Connotation is based on the feelings that the word invokes. So when you define a word based on denotation, you're standing on facts. To then include statistics and data along with the denotation definition of a word, we talking about double, triple facts. So why did Candace Owens disagree with facts? It's real simple. Candace was unprepared to have a discussion that took her in a completely different territory that was unfamiliar to her. She had never debated anybody based on facts. Candace believes that feminists are emotional and illogical. So she underestimated me and put me in the category of the typical feminist. So she disagreed with me so that she could create an opportunity to drag the conversation into a territory that she was familiar with. which is the reason why when she disagreed, she started bringing up irrelevant things like the fashion industry and all that stuff.
You both did it. You're both guilty. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Fuck you. Oh, fuck you, fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you.
You both did it. There's nothing about that didn't apply to her that didn't apply to you. I don't even think you're a feminist. I just think you're smarter than people are giving you credit for, and not for the right reasons either. I don't even think you give a shit about feminism or any of that. I look at you like you are a figurehead for everybody who wants to live a specific way out here. There's a number of you. Oh, it's not just you. Andrew Tate. The list, it goes on. If I really dug and just pulled up some names, you'd be surprised at who I thought was right alongside her. You didn't want to hear what she was trying to say. You can't have conversations with folks who have already got it in their head that they already know everything. That was if you never saw the interview, I'm gonna go ahead and save you the trouble of watching the shit. At the end of the day, you had two people who already had it in their mind that they were right and the other person was wrong. So it really didn't make a difference going into it what the other person had to say. That shit was never going to go anyway or in any direction. It was just a pointless hour, 2 hours. But it looked good to the public. Y'all got entertained by it. A lot of y'all enjoyed it. I don't even know if I can go to the comment section of this. I want to read the comments. Y'all should see the fucking comments. The comment section, man, it tells you everything you need to know. Everything that I'm saying here, they basically support my theory. People gravitate towards what allows them to be what they are in this worldly vessel. You know how you have a subset of groups that span from the cool table to the golf section, to the bougie uppity people, to the jocks. Well, this is the same thing. We're just not in high school no more. We're just all grown adults. We're grown adults still treating this life like high school. Everybody is still off in their own particular part of the cafeteria, just in real time, on and off the job. And Candace is in one side of the cafeteria. Princella is on another side of the cafeteria. And The people who are sitting with them is based on what they're comfortable with. But guess who's the one who's always sitting by themselves? And I'm going to close out with this right here. This food for thought. Guess who's the one that's always sitting at the lunch table by themselves? The one that always has the best snacks. Maybe they don't even have the best snacks. But everything that's in their lunch bag or in their lunch box, guess what? It was made with love. Everything in their lunchbox was made with love. Somebody took time out of their day to make sure that they had nutrition, that they had something to put on their stomach throughout the day. That same person that's sitting by themselves at the cafeteria while everybody playing spades over here and everybody throwing the football over there. That's that one kid. One of the most prolific, unbiased, unjudgmental people that you'll ever meet. You know why? Because they haven't been damaged by the constrictions of popularity. They're not worried about fitting in. They don't understand at that particular age and that time that their individuality and them being so different is what later on in life is going to make them stand out more than the folks that you typically always see hanging around. That person sitting by himself, they the coolest, they the most humble, the most gentle, the most kind. They got the best personalities. They're the most honest. Their morals and standards are way different. They haven't been flooded with the views and opinions of everybody else that's telling you to be a fucking drug addict and fuck around with 20 different men and women. That one kid at that cafeteria, the nerd, the one y'all think is weird and all that, the best ones to hang around. You don't understand that shit until you get older and you realize the motherfuckers that you was around all this time wasn't really shit anyway. That's Princella. That's people like her and Candace. Two different sides of the cafeteria. And then here comes that one person that ain't really biased about nothing. What I need to be biased for? See, y'all out here having competitions with each other, trying to steal an audience from the other person. I ain't trying to steal the audience from nobody. I'm trying to steal souls from damnation. I'm trying to steal people away from walking off the fucking edge. I don't want to see people go to hell. I don't want to see people in a recycling spin of being addicted to people that they should not be with. I just want people to love people equally all across the board. I don't see class. I don't see one person being better than the other person. That is you. That is her. I don't move like that. I never could. And for that reason, conversations like the one that they had, it's always going to be something. Because the folks that are at these tables, they're not understanding that there's a lie being told in everything. There's only one truth. And typically the one that's always telling you the real truth is the one that y'all hate. Because the one that's telling you the real raw truth is forcing you to look at yourself for the fucked up human being that you probably are. And most people don't like that. And that's why people like her exist. They got a muzzle on their mouth. Joy Taylor, fucking Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, grifters. All of them are grifters. How do I know? Because I didn't sit with them at the table. I didn't sit with them. I didn't play cards with them. I didn't let nobody stick their hand in my plate and fuck up my meal. That's why you shouldn't worship and idolize people. Worshipping and idolizing people only gets you in more and more trouble. Oh, testify, brother. Testify. Can I talk to you? Can we have a conversation? Is that too much to ask?
Sensational.
When you worship and idolize people, you give up all rights to be fair and neutral. When you idolize and worship people, you give all rights away to being unbiased. You can't be fair. You can't be logical. You can't have a conversation with anyone. You can't be a leader. You can't be a supporter. You just can't. It's impossible. It's only until somebody comes along and they start poking the bear and start calling out in meticulous sequence all of your characteristic flaws, all of your inadequacies, all of your failures, until that one person starts saying, look, shit, yeah, cut it out. I see you. I ain't talking to you directly, but I see you. And then you're at home like, oh, damn, man, they talking to me. Shit. You know what? I can't do nothing but respect it because they telling the truth. I ain't never heard Joy Taylor admit that she was. I never heard Joy Taylor sit up here and be honest about fucking management. Joy Taylor got fired from her show on Fox because she was fucking management, allegedly. But we know she was fucking management. She was up there doing her thing, practicing her freedom of speech. She made decisions. Someone there, Miss Farashi specifically, called her out. But Joy Taylor can still get on social media. Joy Taylor can still get opportunities. Somebody is looking to bring her on a show now as we speak. And y'all get on my fucking nerve. And I told somebody on TikTok, I'm about to get on y'all fucking nerve. Y'all be making people famous that shouldn't even be famous. Joy Taylor ain't in no position to tell nobody shit. Joy Taylor, if you was really a voice, then go ahead, get online right now, do an interview with somebody and tell them that you was up there fucking management, staff, all that shit. Go ahead and own that. Go ahead and own it. You human, right? And you just like the rest of us. Or, oh, I forgot. You're not. I guess you live on a different planet than I do. Excuse me. You're not going to do that. Because as soon as you open your mouth and fix your face to say that you used your pussy and your body to make the lifestyle work for you the way that you wanted it to work for you, because any other way would have been more strenuous, then nobody would want to look at you and hold you to the same regard that they do now. And that's what separates you from the loner. That's what separates you from the person that sat in the cafeteria by herself or by herself. Because you are too worried about the money and the lifestyle and the opinions and the admiration of the world that wants to sleep with you but don't want to marry you. Princella, she's overrated. Candace, I'm on the fence about her. I like the fact that she addresses certain shit. But even still with her, nobody is without blemish, man. So I ultimately what I'm saying here is stop putting all of your trust in your faith in these people, because what you think it is, it really ain't. That interview was pointless. That back and forth they had was pointless. They didn't accomplish nothing. Nothing. The only thing they managed to do was prove to me that you can't have conversations with everybody. You talking all smooth and you're calm and relaxed and you're dressing like a 17-year-old, 21-year-old dude, and you're a fucking grown ass woman cosplaying as a guy, but you expect me to believe in the words that come out of your mouth when you're trying. No, fuck out of here. You know damn well that Candace Owens brings in revenue, and Candace Owens has an audience. Y'all be up here trying to convert people into being horrible ass people instead of making them better. You're trying to make them worse. But I digress. What do I know? I had to jump on here this morning. Why not? We got another goodie later on. I definitely would tune in for that. Shout outs to Rob. Shout outs to Sydney. Shout out to Skywalker. We're about to have a nice little panel. We're going, yeah. And I'm still trying to get it to grow a little bit deeper. I don't need a lot of people here. I just need the right ones. The right ones. so that y'all can see how conversations are supposed to go. Nobody's talking over the other person. Nobody's insulting the other person because they don't believe in what they say. I want to show you how it's properly done. And I got to give my hat off to everybody who's been locked in with me over the past year, past few months. We growing, we building. It's a process, but I'm patient. I believe in it. And yeah, fuck they can kiss my ass as far as I'm concerned. Ain't nobody listening to that bullshit. You dating a whole woman. You can't talk to me about no morals and principles and all that shit. Until you can address that, I don't want to hear nothing. I'll never watch a live stream of hers. I'll never watch a segment of hers unless it's because I want to dissect the bullshit that was being exchanged between her and the other person that she's doing the show with. And that goes for Joy Taylor especially. You don't get no respect for sucking and fucking your way to the top. Trying to pretend like you're a role model for women. No, the hell you're not. Where my ladies at, man, that still stand for something, man? Where y'all at? Where the black women at that really be holding the kings down, that be holding men down, that be holding women accountable for the dumb shit they be doing? Where y'all at? Why don't y'all start speaking up and start talking? Because I'm tired of seeing these faces. Real spill. Appreciate y'all for hanging out, man. I'm about to get up off of here, get back in this laboratory, get some more editing done, get some more uploading done. If you ain't seen any of my last clips, tap in, like, share, subscribe to the channel. Also, you dig? 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going down. We are going live again. Full panel. Can't miss this one. Promise you. You don't want to miss that one. I'm out of here. Y'all take it easy. Where? There it is.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I hide, my ancestors speak. They tell me they're tired of them praying on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their palms would bleed, begging a generation.